Prepare to welcome to the ring the WBO Super Middleweight Champion of the World.
After the fight, Barry Hearn would lose both his fighters, but his main concern in the build-up was making sure Chris Eubank's walk-in went without a hitch this time round.
Extraordinary promotional achievement and an extraordinary compliment to the memory of how good the first fight had been, that 40,000 people would come out on a cold Saturday night in the open air to watch a rematch.
The WBC Super Middleweight Champion of the World, the Dirt Destroyer, Nigel Benn.
They all chant my name before the fight. You got these tingles down your body. And this is it, you know, you dare not lose. You dare not lose.
Just listen to the atmosphere here in Old Trafford. 45,000 people are making this absolutely a fever pitch. Fairly quiet sort of opening in truth to the start, to the fight though.
They try to box more, both of them try to box more this time. Not get involved with taking the punches like they did before. They were both more clever this time.
Oh, now it's really livening up now. It had to do that. Loves to tear up Nigel Benn now. That suits him. He wants to draw Eubank at the swapping punches with him.
Really, I was always just trying to survive in there with Benn.
He felt that one and it hurt, but Benn now senses that this could be his night. Left jab from Eubank. You can hear the crowd chanting Eubank, Eubank. You can hear the rivals chanting, and there is nothing between them. Now Benn goes to work, and another low one from Nigel Benn. That was below the belt, and Eubank just holds on. Larry O'Connor.
I didn't really hit him though because he wears his pants up here.
All right, he wore his shorts fairly high, but the referees, they're good referees, they take that into consideration.
Larry O'Connor, I think, saw that one, and Benn now.
That didn't really hurt because I always wear two protectors. But I needed time because you need to think. And I played for a little time, and the referee, you know, he's hit you low, fine, but come on, we've got a contest here, we've got people watching, come on, and he gets you back into it.
The point deducted from Benn would not affect the result unless the fight went the full distance. But after 11 rounds and ringside pundits unable to split the two, everything hung on the final 3 minutes.
One of the most thrilling rounds.
I said, listen, mate, I said, you've got to stop him. I said, you've got to stop him this round. Get out and stop him, I said, because it's all on this round. You've got to win it. Either way, you've got to win this round. That's how close we both knew.
Slipping on the canvas there. Left hook. I don't think he's got an awful lot left, but here he fires back again. He's going to have to spring into life here.
Between these two magnificent warriors, I think that Chris Eubank is perhaps just edging it, but I couldn't argue if somebody said differently. It's been that sort of fight, and just listen to the crowd. They are loving it. 30 seconds to go. It's going to go to the judges' scorecards. This has been a magnificent contest. Who's going to win it? Benn thinks he's won it. Eubank thinks he's won it. I tell you what, there's no loser out there tonight.
I had Benn just about ahead. I think from memory, even a point, just one round ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Harry Gibbs scores about 115, 113, Chris Eubank.
Thought Benn won it.
Al Castellano scores about 114, 113, Nigel Benn.
One each.
When they were announcing the decision, he was looking at me, I was looking at him. And I said to him, listen, you know, all this bad feeling that we're supposed to have, let's just get out the winner now, you know. Regardless of the decision, give me a hug.
Chuck Hassett scores about 114 to 114, even a draw. The decision.
Yes, it's a draw.
Well, draw.
We thought Benn just stole it, Jim, but we weren't a bit surprised by a drawn decision.
This has got to be a draw. I think, you know, some people might have a word and some people there. Just walk through out the ring for someone coming packing back, say, oh, Nigel, oh, go on, get away.
What a fantastic decision. Almost divine intervention, if you will.
Eubank's first words to me, I remember quite clearly, was, "What does a draw mean?" And I looked at him and said, "It means we can do it again." He said, "I like draws."
My man, this is Nigel, baby. You're gonna change the scope of history.
While Don King was celebrating the acquisition of his 2 new boxers, Chris Eubank and Barry Hearn were planning to exploit a loophole in the fight's contract.
Of hard work, labor, dedication, commitment, sacrifice. You negotiate, you know, brutally. You like a barracuda, you know what I mean? You know what I mean in there when you're negotiating.
I've never actually wanted to be with Don King. And the draw was never put in the contract. But if I would have lost or won, I would have been tied to him.
Sitting at breakfast, and Don was waxing eloquently as he does about what a fight, 45,000 people, Barry Hearn, you're the greatest promoter the world has ever seen, I love you, man. And now this is what I'm going to do with Benn, and this is what I'm going to do with Eubank. And I just said to Don, "Well, have you read that contract you signed?" And he looked at me and said, "Yeah." I said, "I don't think you're involved necessarily, are you?" And he said, "Why do you, what do you mean? What do you mean?" I said, "Well, if they won, sure, they're with you. If they lost, they're with you. This fight was a draw, Don. These boys are free. They can fly." And Don's reaction was, "You son of a bitch, what are you trying to do to me?"
You know, neither Don King or myself at the time were happy with Barry because of what he did. You know, it was not right, and you know, he should have basically played the game, and he didn't play the game. But you know, it all came back on him because Eubanks left him, Steve Collins left him, and as you know, Nigel Benn left him straight after the fight.
Well, you said they probably wouldn't have a third fight unless it was a draw. It is a draw. Could it possibly be a third timer? Well, I bet neither of the boxer wants it. I mean, unless they're going to pay a hell of a lot of money.
There was to be no third fight. Benn's career went on to parallel Eubank when he was involved in a similar tragedy to Michael Watson as he paralyzed and blinded Gerald McClellan. Soon afterwards, aged 32, he retired after first losing his title and then a further 2 fights to Steve Collins.
Having a third fight, I don't know. You kind of say to yourself, you've got to be realistic with yourself, and you think, well, am I fighting for money or am I fighting for titles? If you fight for titles, money follows automatically. But if you're fighting for money, you ain't going to get it. You ain't going to get it. Because not only that, you know, you can remember being bashed from pillar to post, been hurt, a lot of internal damage, And then you got to say to yourself, oh, I don't know, mate. Got 5 lovely kids, and you kind of say to yourself, it catches up with you. New kids on the block, let them have their shot.
Steve Collins also signalled an end to Eubank's career. But the man who called boxing a mug's game didn't get out as easily as his rival. After losing his undefeated record and title, Eubank retired, but then made a comeback, challenging for world titles again, but never regaining one. The man the country loved to hate had finally got his comeuppance.
I never mimicked. I never ever said, you know, you are horrible. You know, you the crowd. I didn't abuse them. It was all through mimicking that they bought into. Well, my psyche or my antics. And it's fantastic because even for the people who may still dislike me today, I entertained you. You know, you were on the edge of your seat, you know. And most of you are when you're around anyway.
Dempsey and Tunney, Robinson, LaMotta, Leonard, Duran, you always think of one and automatically link it with the other, and so it'll be with Benn and Eubank. They each defined the other's career.
It's seldom you find 2 men that would be prepared to do anything to win, to put themselves through any amount of torture to achieve their goal. But probably the 2 things that summed Benn and Eubank up as special individuals, both of them, was the pride they had. At the end of the day, it was just raw pride. It was nothing to do with the money. It was nothing to do with the belts.